A White Bear Lake man is known for dishing up delicious pies. He's also a man of some surprising other talents. WCCO's Kirsten Mitchell introduces us to Ben the Baker.
If the kitchen is the heart of a home,
ooh, now we're moving.
You'll have to head to the Newman's garage.
There we go. We actually never even parked in here. It was just full of like stuff from the move and just tools, and you know, it was one of those things. Woo-hoo.
Ben transformed it into a commercial kitchen about 6 years ago, where he runs his bakery.
Going in. It's pretty small, 450 square feet or so, to have the fridges and freezers and equipment. These giant bowls. It's kind of perfect for what I need right now. I need a giant spatula.
It was 2007 when he returned home from a deployment in Iraq with the Minnesota National Guard and was hit with two very different passions.
Whoa! I always want to be doing something. If I can be obsessed with something that's positive for me, that's great.
That somehow came together as one.
Ben the Baker Newman.
And usually you're in the face of your opponent and trying to be tough and intimidate them. But I would just bring like a slice of pie and have it on a plate and just hand it to him.
After years of MMA fighting and teaching martial arts, he's traded gloves for oven mitts full time.
This is the Tiger Stripe chocolate cream pie. Choose your weapon and get that nice and smooth.
How am I doing?
That's not bad.
His bakery sells a variety of sweet or savory, take and bake, and thaw and serve pies.
Next year's strawberry rhubarb pie, hopefully.
While out back, he's experimenting, growing ingredients himself.
A lot of green apples. These are a whole different types of berries. You got elderberries.
But the real apple of his eye is their adopted baby girl.
She is premature, so she was at the Mayo NICU for a month and a half, so I think she's used to like the sounds and the beeps, and she sleeps just fine in here and hangs out with me, so I get to spend plenty of time with her.
And that's just icing on the cake. In White Bear Lake, Kirsten Mitchell, WCCO News.
It is a double congratulations for a group of Twin Cities families with kids and moms graduating at the same time. Take a look at how this very special program is making it happen. Carisha and Caden are a dynamic duo.
He is the most loving child. He is so caring and compassionate.
She's pretty compassionate herself. The single mom who grew up in the Caribbean moved to Minnesota in hopes of going to school.
I was like, you know what, as hard as it's going to be, if I don't do it now, it's not going to happen. I knew if I wanted a really good life for my son, I had to make that move.
She started going to MCTC, learning just how hard it can be for a full-time student to find stable housing and reliable daycare. So a friend told her about the Jeremiah program.
I think the Jeremiah program is filling a lot of gaps that exist in Minneapolis communities. And the Jeremiah program really helps you to focus on your goals, help you accomplish those goals, and help you to really stay on track.
They do that by providing apartments for moms just a walk away from MCTC and providing educational daycare for kids and counseling. What makes this program unique?
It is the two-generation approach through education. So education, college education for the moms, and early childhood education to prepare students for children for kindergarten and beyond.
It really allows me to say, hey, I'm not the only person going through this.
There's power in having a circle.
Exactly, and that is really what the Jeremiah program provides. It's really a sisterhood. It's a community of moms and kids that are going through the same struggles but are pushing on and striving to reach goals.
And you've reached some.
Yes, I have.
Tell us what happened.
So I have gotten a degree in business management as well as liberal arts within the time that I have been at Jeremiah program, and next steps for me is to eventually get my master's.
And she is among good company as 2 by 2 they conquer the world. In Minneapolis, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News. We have an amazing update to share with you now. It was 6 months ago when we first introduced you to Bill Voelz, a farmer from western Minnesota. He fell last fall while working on a deer stand and was paralyzed from the waist down. But after surgery and months of therapy, he finally got a chance to go home. Since then, he has faced many challenges, but never gave up on his goal to return to farming. John Lortzen shows us how Bill is now making his dream a reality.
Coming back home was so wonderful.
The family farm is where Bill Voelz was meant to be.
Big pull, push, 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 push.
Nothing made him realize that more than months of rehab in the Twin Cities.
Nice work.
I was very emotional, let's put it that way. It is just a different game now working out of this chair.
I think it's gone really, really well. It's just to learn that new normal.
But it wasn't enough just to return home. Bill told anyone who would listen that he wanted to be in his tractor by spring planting season. His wife Jean knew he meant it when he got into a skid loader last winter.
I could hear something growling around outside, and I looked, and he is just like busting through snow. Later that day, he's like, oh, I forgot how rough that skid loader is, and he goes, it felt great.
It put a smile on my face from one end to the other.
Who knew heavy equipment could be so therapeutic?
Donnie, you want to bring it up here?
But the skid loader was just the start. After talking to other farmers with similar injuries, Bill and his family drove to Indiana to buy him a lift.
I got out of the wheelchair to get up here, but otherwise it'll pick me right out of the pickup and put me right in here. This lift has been a lifesaver.
When Mother Nature finally cooperated,
I don't need to use the clutch pedal again. I can just put it into gear.
Bill was able to return to the fields he's loved and missed. He drives by using controls near the steering wheel.
Being in a tractor is just so enjoyable, relaxing.
Never one to back away from a challenge, Bill has been helping with field work all spring.
I need to get this.
Fulfilling a farmer's prophecy.
This is the hardest thing you've ever done.
Oh gosh, yes.
That he made 6 months ago.
Okay, you got this, Bill. Go, go. Yes!
I know people handle things differently, but don't give up.
You did it! Nice work.
Thank you. Just keep on going. You'll get there.
In Renville County, John Lortzen, WCCO News.
Up next, there is nothing quite like the bond between twins. Meet the pair who are proving to be each other's greatest teammates.